you. This is Jacoby Elliott. He is Why the Ghost.
Hell,
And I just have a question for you. What would be the best way to describe your music to someone?
I call it gritty supernatural pop.
Okay. Because it's a whole aesthetic to me.
Yeah,
But okay.
it's just kind of it's like atmospheric pop, but it's kind of like it's not too sterile. Like it's kind of twisted a little bit. So that's why I call it gritty. It's just kind of raw.
Okay. What inspires you to make that music?
So much I feel like of my music and what I make, it's just it kind of finds me and tells me how it's gonna go.
Okay.
It's like it kind of just that's just what comes to me. I don't know, and that's I guess it's my style. Maybe it's probably like a combination of my interests in not only music but film and like philosophy and like yeah, it just kind of combines everything. But it's not super conscious. It's just kind of like falling asleep and like dream logic takes over, you know.
I got you. I mean, anytime I listen to it or show people, they look like they're in a dancing movie. Like you put them in like a really good state.
That's awesome.
I've recently showed a bunch of people your music videos, and a lot of people love the aesthetic. What goes in to making these videos, if you want to tell
Dude,
people?
a lot. With each one,
We could
uh,
take it one by one if you wanted, with each one,
oh man,
because I know they're all different too.
yeah. I mean, the the process in the past has been that I had to, because I didn't have a camera in the past, so I had to
Mm.
find a cinematographer or a videographer to work with, um, and then the music usually I have written like way in advance. Um,
So the video comes later then.
yeah, but the ideas all come at the same time sometimes.
Okay.
So like when I'm writing music, like it's all part of the same. It's like world building. Like when you're writing a novel and you're kind of crafting like what the world's like in that novel. That's kind of what I do.
Yeah.
I do a very simple version of that, but with each song, it really is its own world. So it kind of, yeah, the video. So it kind of has like a web of certain concepts and feelings and I guess aesthetics for each song, and then for all the video and the production and the music and the writing, the visuals, it's all pulling from the same place.
I got what you're saying.
But now that I have a camera, um, I can make my own stuff. So that's what I've been doing, and I've even filmed some of it before the music was finished.
Okay, because that's what I'm looking forward to, your new music videos. Because I mean, we've known each other. You lived out here in Kansas, Missouri. Now you're out in Colorado. What made you want to move out there?
Um, Family, like
Mm.
um, yeah, it's pretty much that simple. I was talking to my sister and um, we were just talking about like life, and I was asking them kind of what they're doing, and it's just kind of boring. But we were like, let's just be roommates. So then
Okay.
I I came out here and like we're all like living together, and that actually has helped a lot to be able to like make music and be creative. So it's kind of a boring, simple thing, but it's like
But
changed my life, dude.
I was gonna say, it looks like it's like making your life better. You seem very happy, healthy,
Yeah, stable,
stable. That's a
which
good
was
one.
not the case in the past.
Um, so did you always like, just sing on your own? Did you do choir? Did you get vocal lessons? Because you got a very wide range. It's very nice to listen to.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been singing. I mean, the story goes that I started singing before I was really talking words. I would like
Okay.
all the time. Like I was just like a little bird, just like making noises. And then I obviously got into like performing in school and stuff, and was in like choir and theater and all that. And then by the time I got into college, I was kind of getting more into film too. So I
Yeah.
just combined everything.
I mean, I don't know. I just love what you do with like cinematography in general, whether it's like your pictures or like the videos. And I mean, that's like kind of like why I'm doing these types of interviews is to showcase people like you who I believe in. Like I think you're very talented in, making music, presenting yourself, and it's there, so why not share it, to more people?
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm honored.
But I might ask you some more questions. So, what's your favorite song out there right now that isn't your own, obviously?
Oh man. Cara Faye from Shiny Toy Guns just released a new single, solo single.
Okay.
It's called "Change in the Water."
Mm. Would you highly recommend it to people to listen to?
Yeah, it's a jam. It's kind of darker than a lot of her stuff, but
Darker than her like solo music, or like darker than Shiny Toy Guns?
her solo music, but even in Shiny Toy Guns, like she sort of played her vocal, like when she came in to sing, she played sort of like an ethereal character in that band.
Okay.
So this stuff's kind of more raw, and she kind of gets down, but it's also super, electronic and hip hop, and it's different than what she's done.
Okay. I mean, I'm gonna definitely have to spin it now that you're recommending it. You got a very good music taste, so don't let me down.
And I think Jeremy from Shiny Toy Guns helped produce it too. So
Okay. So they're still like probably like working together.
yeah. I just
Okay.
follow them, and then whatever they do is my favorite, wherever they go.
Do you still listen to like groups like Crystal Castles or anything like that?
I haven't listened to Crystal Castles in a while, but
That's what the Shiny Toy Guns era kind of reminds me of, like those groups.
yeah, I'm not as emo anymore. I mean, I never really totally was, but you know what I mean. Like it's kind of.
You kind of found yourself, it looks like.
Hopefully.
I mean, you're like presenting yourself pretty well to me. I mean, in your music, as a person.
Yeah, I've been a lot more stable than I've ever been before. Like before, it was kind of like I was pulled in a lot of different directions, but I've kind of built a more solid home base.
What's grounding you?
Um, Man, that's deep.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. We don't gotta get that deep if you don't want to.
Kinda,
Well, I'm
yeah,
cool talking mental health if you want to as well.
yeah. I'm kind of like since I just found it, I kind of hold it really sacred. So I'm kind of.
Oh, you don't have to express it. You can be vague
it's-
too if you want.
Yeah, I mean, it is mental health related too, and I've definitely learned a lot of tools the past few years. Because then, I moved to Colorado, and then I was kind of introspective, and then a pandemic hit, so
Yeah.
I had a lot of time to like dig through the deep things and the hard things, and I learned a lot of tools of what to do, to keep yourself grounded and centered. So I'm just trying those and practicing. It really is like working out and exercising. Like you have to keep coming back to it and like, building your because it's like resistance, like to be like in a place to have a stable core in the times that we live in. It's like
Yeah.
swimming upstream, like it's like resistance training. So yeah.
And I feel like if you haven't really like had that type of training, it's more difficult to navigate through life. And so like I mean I'm not perfect by any means, but I constantly try to like rewire my brain because like even if you thought something was okay in the past and it might have been, like the world's changing, you know, you should constantly be wanting to grow and become a better human being, you know. And I know it's hard out there. Everyone's, you know, struggling. The pandemic isn't easy. We don't know what's gonna happen with everything happening. But I mean, one good thing out of this pandemic for myself as well has been, you know, working on mental health, finding, you know, things that can take away from, you know, having to feel depressed or, you know, having to feel like angry or sad in general. And so once you like get those outlets, like for me it's music or, you know, just like even watching the process of musicians, you know, I like seeing people's growth. Like I've seen your growth. You used to be in that your band In Cahoots a long time ago. I remember it. And I mean, dude, you've grown from that guy playing on the backyard to, you know, now you're like putting your music out there with how you want to present it, you know?
Dude, and you're still out, like you're still doing the same thing too, like creating community for people.
Yeah, I mean, I like helping people. I mean, I'm gonna always do my own thing, but I like, you know, seeing other people get the chance. Not a lot, I mean, in the music industry side, even locally or like regional, however you want to look at it, it's hard for people to connect. You know, it's a trust factor. People get burned a lot, and so I understand why people react the way they do in this industry, at least. But you also have to like learn to get past that, and that's what can separate you. If you're gonna stay stuck and, you know, pissed off at a moment that happened 5 years ago, how do you, you know, expect to grow? You have to, I mean, it's not saying that any situation was maybe correct. It's just saying, okay, that happened. I've learned from it. I want to move on. But a lot of people don't want to take that step with their mental health.
Yeah, just focus on the work you need to do the most, and by that I mean like mental health, like
Yeah.
letting go of, you know, stuff that you're holding on to. And then when you do that, then you can really be part of the community as best you can.
Well, to be a part of like even like something that I help run, the Spooky Kitten record stuff, it's kind of like a selfless act. Like if you're looking for something out of it, I mean, yes, everybody has their own goals and dreams and ambitions. That's different. But if you're looking to just constantly get a monetary gain from it, it's probably not going to be the place for you. Like I'll be real. But if you're looking to grow, learn, and connect with people, and, you know, build up from within, then that's kind of what we're all like working with when we're like talking to each other, or just like sharing, liking people's stuff, you know, just to help their algorithms out even. So it's minor stuff. A lot of people have the misconception that if you have to support someone, then okay, you have to do everything. But it's like you could just do a small thing each time you see it pop up, and that's it. And it would be beneficial. But like I said, it's just a selfless act, and you know, the more people that have that mindset, the better the world will be. Because, in my opinion, you gotta have that caring nature for a fellow human being.
Yeah, and that's something you have to sometimes develop too.
Mm.
You know, 'cause we live in the West. You know, it's
Yeah.
every man for himself in the culture, at least.
Yeah.
And so
Which I've always had a problem with, to be honest. But
yeah, yeah, and it's like, well, and it's
because every person can have their moment to shine, you know. It's not like anyone's gonna be taking away from that. It's like we can all allow each other to shine, and everyone can be there for each other's moment, you know. But at the end of the day, a lot of these people want that moment the entire time, and that's the issue.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah, and it's like we grew up, you know, learning how to really find what makes you special and like what makes
Yeah.
you different. And then now we're learning, like, whoa, like we took it like so far that it's kind of like, all right,
Yeah.
and just kind of finding balance now, like the pendulum swinging back from hyper individualist sort of society, and we're kind of moving towards something more collective.
Yeah, and I mean, if you have a good support system, which I feel like you do, um, you know, whether it be family, friends, or whomever, uh, that's who can help, you know, navigate your position in life, and, you know, they can give you advice without you feeling so alone, and sometimes that can just help you have a better caring nature, because you're like, I got that help, I like how that felt, you know, and I want to do that for other people.
Yeah, dude. And I love what you're doing, and happy to help out where I can.
I mean, definitely want to listen to some more music when you get it out. Not gonna rush that process by any means, because I know how that is.
Well, yeah, and thank you. I'm stoked too. I over the past month, I've been because I got invited to, like, speaking of community, I got invited to this like global music collective.
Nice.
Yeah, it was co-founded by Tina Turner, and it's like based out
Ooh.
in Switzerland.
I think you might have been telling me about this when I last like called you.
Yeah, and it I think so, and I got invited like back in January. Um,
Yeah.
and it basically connects people from like all around the world. So I've been sort of working on music for that and sending it to people. And right now I'm working with, you know, someone from Switzerland. I'm talking to someone from like Armenian, like oud player, like, and it's just like everyone everywhere. And
That's a beautiful opportunity. I don't
it's
know.
weird.
I don't know if you know like some of the producers that did Britney Spears, Backstreet Boys, but they were like
Yes.
from Sweden. So I think Europe just has like a good, you know, natural producer selection, and they have the ear for music.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I've found a lot of my favorite artists are from Sweden or like, you know, that region.
Yeah,
And yeah, but so I've been working on that. So I
that's
haven't not
exciting.
right. That's why I haven't released anything yet, because I'm working on stuff for that, because the deadline's like August 15th to like submit
Okay.
stuff, and then after that I'll kind of, you know, go back to Why the Ghost for a
So are you
while.
doing this as like like just like a Jacoby Elliott thing, or are you doing this as like you're bringing your brand Wide the Ghost with it too?
Um,
Or are you trying to make two separate brands?
well, I just am trying to make the best music I can make,
Yeah.
and then collaborate with people. Like I'm working on, like I'm producing a woman from Switzerland's track, and
Oh, nice.
obviously her sound is like so much different. Like it's very raw, and like raw guitars and stuff.
Is she doing the lyrics in English?
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I was just like I was curious if you were like working with, you know, more like international sense of language or
Yeah. They so far they've spoken English to me.
Oh, okay. That's
She actually
interesting.
reached out to me. Like she found me and listened to my stuff, and then she wanted me to help produce her track, and then now she's singing on mine. So basically, all that,
Okay.
just saying that it's not really the Why the Ghost brand, because it's not about me. Like I want to just be part of something and help other people.
I got you.
However, with my own music, like I said before, like it's gonna be gritty, supernatural pop, because that's what I
Yeah.
do. But it's not like I'm trying to fit it into that. It's just kind of what comes. But with her track that I'm producing her stuff, it's not. It doesn't sound like my music at all. But I am coming at it, you know, and making it have the scope and the atmosphere, like trinkle a little bit of that, kind of like my music does, like in the effects and that kind of thing. So I bring that to the table, but it's not really my brand.
I got you. I mean, I think you should get a little credit though, you know?
Well, so basically, here's how it works. So
Okay.
you collaborate with people and you put tracks together. Every year there's a theme. So this year's theme is conflict. And so
So fitting.
yeah. And every year there's a different, like there's different mentors.
Okay.
Like the first year, I wasn't on it yet, but the first year was Larry Klein. He's like a Grammy-winning producer. And then this year it's Snarky Puppy. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're kind of like,
but I'll definitely have to check them out.
yeah, they're the main guys that are the mentors are Michael League and Bill Lawrence, and they've like won Grammys, and you get these people who are really talented to like mentor the theme for that year. So this year's theme is conflict, so we're making tracks about that, and then submitting them by August 15th, and then they're gonna go through them. And then they're gonna listen, and then pick the ones that are their favorites, and then they're gonna reproduce them for an album that they release every year. Usually they fly you out, like to like in Europe, where they are to like record in a studio, but still kind of a pandemic, so they're gonna do it just digital, like they're
Unfortunately, I don't know what's really gonna happen with obviously the future and how everything's happening, vaccine, Delta variant, all this stuff. So I do hope this doesn't like ruin your opportunity, because I know you actually like work very hard, to do this type of stuff. So I do hope that you can do it, or that in some shape or form they give you a rain check if the world closes again.
Well, yeah, and luckily they can still help produce from overseas. They just can't fly you out to like re-record it in like a really nice studio. And plus, you get to stay on the platform even if your songs aren't picked that year. And every year you keep submitting, and it's like an invitation-only thing where they like seek out people, listen to them, and then invite them to the thing, to the platform. And then every year they come around a different theme. So anyway, that's what I've been doing. So Why the Ghost? I have stuff ready, but kind of. I want to let this become whatever it needs to.
Okay, I got a question for you. So like you have 3 music videos out. They all have 3 different looks. When you decide to do another music video, are you gonna change your appearance again? Because I actually like watching you do it. It's very interesting to see how you like replicate yourself to match your music.
Yeah. Probably not drastically. I will say the next video, we've already filmed a lot of it, and I pretty much just look like this. It's... Yeah, so no, it won't be a drastic physical change. I'm not closed off to doing that in the future, but I kind of, like I said before, I kind of am trying to like build a solid home base to like.
Yeah, no, I understand you. You want that core.
Yeah, because I think a lot of it before is I wanted to figure things out. Like, what does this feel like to do this? What does this feel like?
Well, for anybody listening that maybe doesn't know a lot about you and they're just now finding out about you through this interview, I'm gonna just put it on blast. You have a whole album out on Bandcamp, nowhere else. It's like it's a hidden gem for anybody that wants to, How much does it cost on your Bandcamp if you can find it?
Probably around $10, or maybe it's like $8 to $10, and the proceeds go to like a social justice organization of your choice. So whenever you buy an album on Bandcamp, you can add in a comment. Just put the organization that's fighting for like progressive social justice, and then I'll donate the proceeds to that. So that's kind of why I have it that way right now.
Okay.
Because
That's awesome, to be honest. I didn't even know that. But I'm just saying, you go check out this album. I just gotta ask you on it, because I'm gonna go pick it up, because I just reminded myself that it's on there. I can't get the physical copy, right, but I can get the digital download.
well, I still have some physical copies, and you can order it that way on Bandcamp if you want.
I am going to order it. I didn't know you had it.
I'll sign it.
You'll be the reason you're gonna sell out right now, because of me. So, quick question though. What's your favorite song that you made off that album that you don't already have kind of like in plain public view? And why?
That's a good question. So, a little, like a short background, that album, I was kind of trying to figure things out, kind of like I was trying different things, and the music I'm releasing now is much better produced, and it's sort of like a higher caliber than what I was doing then. I kind of consider those
Demos per se?
Yeah, and you know how like a lot of artists have like demos that you find and then discover their early stuff. That's kind of what that album is for me, but I was very official about releasing it. And then I picked 3 of my favorites from that album, and I released them as singles for streaming.
Yeah.
Hologram, Wish, and As Anybody Out There are streaming everywhere still. Those still move over time. And then my favorite from that album, I'm gonna say Dark, because my roommate at the time at KU, when I was there for a year studying my foray into film school, he was my roommate, my dorm mate, and he played cello, and so he played cello and we layered it to like sound. It's just this beautiful, lush orchestral piece at the beginning, and I feel like people assume it's like a sample or something, but it's like him playing it, and so I'm pretty proud of that. It'd be cool to like reproduce it someday, because I would definitely produce it much differently now, because it morphs into sort of a very pop, sort of industrial kind of sound, and yeah, it's not the strongest production wise, but it was good songwriting. I'm proud of it.
Are you liking producing with other people now, or do you like the process where you're just by yourself and you maybe send off mixes to some friends, you know? What process do you like better?
I think it would be cool to collaborate with like someone who's really passionate. I've just never collaborated with a producer who loves pop music, you know, who that's what they do. I've collaborated with people who record music a lot, and they do a lot of like metal, you know, kind of more rock, like real instruments, and I'll bring in real instrumentalists and stuff too. But anyway, I think it would be awesome to like just be able to like send someone ideas and just send it off and have them come up with something.
Kind of like ghostwriting, or?
Well, no, I just mean like collaborating, like they be like their own whole thing.
Man,
that'd be awesome.
I
not have the privilege yet.
I maybe got someone for you.
Oh shit!
It's not me though, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
Well, no. I love pop music. I'm just saying I can't write the instrumentals that well. Jesse Good, who you got to talk to.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. He can actually orchestrate pop music very well. It's kind of in his music, but like he has just stuff that's unreleased and beats like that, and they're just very obviously like top 40 pop, you know?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if that's what you're like getting at, or.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like people, yeah, that's like beat makers and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he makes the instrumentals all live and stuff, but except for like the synths and some other things. But he plays the guitar, bass, piano. Like he can play that live and record it without samples.
Yeah. Yeah. There's so many ways you can go about it, and you can sample real instruments and stuff. I love doing that. But yeah, it's kind of like it goes back to that conversation that we were talking about before. You know, having to learn to find out what makes you special, like
Yeah,
an individual mindset, and it is important to a certain extent. So it was important for me to be self-sufficient production-wise, just to be able to be competent enough to not be extremely dependent like I was when I first began, and now I'm
yeah,
more
I
independent.
remember that.
Yeah, but now, with this Beyond Music opportunity and meeting people like you, or knowing people like you and Jesse, it's I can offer now that I know how to produce, I can like offer to help other people with that too.
I believe you got a talent. You definitely. I remember. Man, this is gonna take you back maybe, but I remember when we go to like some hookah bars and you would be like DJing in your car, and you always had like some jam, and then you'd be like, "But wait, I wrote this," and then you would play it, and it would always be cinematic, and like you would be like messing with the stereo as the song's going, and I'm just like, this guy has an ear for music.
Dude, thank you. Yeah, I mean, yeah, just
I'm
from
getting
day
red
one,
telling that.
from day one, yeah, I'm just, yeah, I love it, and
I'm glad to see you get where you're at right now. Like you've turned from that like charismatic person, trying to like develop a sound, maybe be in a band, to finding yourself, to now having a direction where you want to go in life.
yeah, I remember with the band In Cahoots.
Mm.
It's funny because I still write songs in the same way, but nobody knew how to produce. So I like produce electronic music or any music for that matter. So when we first got together, we were called like Voltaic, and it was supposed to be what I do now, like
Yeah.
pop music, and that was like the original idea. And I was like on her keyboard, like trying to do shit, but like no one knew how to track it or like make it into, to produce it. So it's funny that like a lot of the tricks I tried then that didn't really work, I still used later. But it was still good for me at that time though, because it forced us, because they were great guitar players, and
I remember.
it was really good, and so yeah, I still learned a lot about making music at that time. And I think it's good to have those basics down first.
I mean, it's the beauty in the art in a sense because nothing's ever going to be, the right way to do something. It might work one time, not work again. And so it's just figuring out, like we've been talking about, what you want to do musically, how you can harness your craft and talent to be what you want it to be. But I mean, it takes building steps. You did a band, I've done bands. I mean, I just now did like a solo thing of like trying different genres of music, until I like kind of found a rhythm that I like now where I want to go. But it took me just like forcing myself to be creative.
Dude, everyone needs to go check out Strawberry Sky Baby. Yeah, those
I
are
appreciate you. For any new artists watching out here, what would you suggest to them as a life advice, music advice, something to help them get through these times that we're in?
I would tie it into what we've been talking about specifically, is sort of balance the two things of like be self-sufficient enough, like learn music production, learn how to play an instrument, learn as much as you can on your own, so you're not like codependent with other musicians. And then on the other hand, balance that out. It's not easy, but try to learn how to balance that out with like, hey, I have this skill set, so how can I be of service to you or the world, or the people in your community, whether that's online or in your physical location. And then that'll sort of guide you to the best place for you to be, I think. Is having that knowledge and then offering to help.
That's some beautiful advice. Definitely focus on your mental health, make sure you're right, and then you'll be in the space to create, in my opinion. So, we're going to head into the last segment of the show. It's the sleeper, and I just want to know, Jacoby, what song do you think anybody out there should be listening to?
Cara Faye's Change in the Water. It's one of your singles.
Okay.
Single and music video. Check it out.
Okay. Well, that's gonna end the interview. I appreciate you, Jacoby. I wish you well. And I hope you have a beautiful night.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.